Hey class, let's keep talking about the 5/7 chord and let's just knock this out really quick, okay? Let's talk about some things with the 5/7. Yesterday we did a live stream just talking about how the various parts of the 5/7 chord resolve when we are resolving from 5/7 to 1. And usually an authentic cadence is what we're talking about in that context. So here we're going to start off on page 226 about other resolutions. What that's specifically talking about is deceptive resolution, 5/7 to the 6 chord. So submediant in a major key is the relative minor, and in a minor key is just scale degree 6. It's a half step away from 5. Now there is an issue if we take just the 5 triad, so the dominant triad, and we resolve upward a step, everything's moving together. So here's the big secret. Are you ready for the big secret? I'm going to pull up my Google Doc and I'm going to type in the big secret for how to do this, okay? Are you ready? This is the big secret. I'm going to pull up Music Theory 2 lectures. I'm going to make a new section because this is really, really important, the big secret, okay? The big secret for resolving the 5/7 chord in deceptive motion. Are you ready? Because here we go. This is so important. I'm stopping the lecture so I can type this in. Step 1. Follow the same rules as resolving to 1. Done. That's it. So what that means is this means, ready? Voices that aren't the bass do what they're supposed to do, except redundant roots or inner voice roots will step up. Okay? Or rather, we'll even say it better. Find the nearest chord tone. Okay? This also means the bass in root position will find the root of the next chord. Literally, let's just say, fancy way of saying step up. Okay? So if the root of 5 is scale degree 5 and the root of 6 is scale degree 6, instead of going 5 to 1, if we're going deceptive motion, we're going to go 5 to 6. Seems elementary, right? But if you look at the chart we made earlier, yesterday, resolution of the 5/7, we're following all of the same rules here. The bass is going to find the next root. The 3rd is going up, the 5th is going down, the 7th is going down. The root in any other voice, what we call the redundant root, is going to find the nearest chord tone. That probably means it's going to step up to find the root of the next chord, to find scale degree 6. But if the root is in the bass and some other voice, we're not going to have both of them step up. So in that case, you're going to have the root in the inner voices or in the melody, probably not the melody, it's going to skip downwards. It's not too overly complicated, just remember what I said when you end up doing this. So that summarizes all of this. So if we're going over these examples here, here is an example of G minor resolving 5/7 to 6, and then 5/7 to 6 again, and then going to G major and doing it. If you follow the rules that you already know, it's going to fix all of these problems. So look in all of these are complete voicings of the 5/7, which means we're not going to have redundant roots to worry about. So all I'm doing is I'm resolving the 3rd up, 3rd up, 3rd, optionally I can do 3rd down in major, 7th down, 7th down, 7th down, 7th down, 7th down, 3rd up, root, 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 and then fifth down, fifth down, fifth down, and then fifth down. So, yes, this results in the third of the chord being doubled, because the third of the submedia is the tonic, and the tonic being doubled in a tonic triad is fine. And if we follow these rules, we end up with the tonic being doubled, because it was being doubled in the authentic cadence. In the deceptive cadence, if we're following all of these rules, we end up with, in the key of G, G being doubled, but in the context of an E flat major triad or an E minor triad, it's the third being doubled. That's fine. In fact, in a minor key, that's the only way you can do it, because if this F sharp were to go down to an E flat, it would sound like this. It sounds nice, except we're doing an augmented second. And that's a no-no, F sharp to E flat. In a major key, it's E natural, so you could have the leading tone go down if you wanted to. You don't have to. It's really up to you. If you want to focus on not doubling the third. If you want to just follow the rules that we've already got on the chart on the Google Doc, then do that. Okay, moving on. Now there is one more section, and that is when we invert the 5/7 chord. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? This is really, really complicated stuff. I'm going to make it like all caps, okay? This is complicated. The bass, let's capitalize bass because I'm OCD, follows inner voice rule, inner voice leading rules. Done. So whenever the bass inverts, it's going to follow the chart that we made. So if the bass is on the third, it's going to go up. If it's on the fifth or seventh, it's going to go down. That means that this means the 5/6/5 leads to 1. The 5/4/3 leads to 1. Because in the 5/6/5, we're inverted one time. So the third is in the bass. It leads up to 1. In the 5/4/3, we're inverted twice. So that's the fifth of the chord in the bass. Leads downward a step to 1. The 5/2 then, or what we call the 4/2, leads to... I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about that, okay? So we've got So-Do if the root is in the bass. The third's anywhere, it's T-Do, also leading to scale degree 1. If the fifth is anywhere, it goes Re-Do, also leading to scale degree 1. So what happens if Fa is in the bass, meaning we are in third inversion of the chord? Seventh is in the bass, scale degree 4, leads down via half step to scale degree 3. It leads to the 1/6. Can I superscript this? Does it let me do that? This is so worth my time right now doing a lecture, but I'm going to do it. Format, superscript. And we're just going to say 5/2 because that's what we do in our class. And then the 1/6. There. So I'm going to quickly open up Sibelius. And we're going to very quickly, in the key of C, do all of this. I didn't want to have all the loud Sibelius startup music, so. Okay. Very quickly, we're going to demonstrate this. Okay. Where is my... There's my toolbars. So I'm going to turn off my sounds real quick so you're not hearing really loud no entry. But just really quickly, I'm going to do so-do, then ti-do, then re-do, and then fa-mi. That is the various parts of the G7. I put them in the bass and I resolve them where they're supposed to go. If the root is in the bass, it goes to do. Anywhere, the third goes up, fifth goes down, seventh goes down. And then I'm going to fill in the missing voices now. So for Sibelius, that is Shift V. There we go. Now we've got a tenor voice. There. So there's our tenor. Now we're going to put in our alto. Let's put in our soprano first. Yeah, there's going to be an incomplete voicing there. That's fine. This is a really interesting soprano part. This is what happens when you're just doing voice leading exercises, not based off of melodies. And then here's our alto. There. So fa-mi is happening in the alto over and over until it happens in the bass. Ti-do is happening over and over in the tenor, except when it's happening in the bass. And re-do only happens there. Okay, so here's what it sounds like. You know, what if I actually turned on desktop audio? There we go. This is the only instance of the 1-6, of the inverted tonic triad. So, root position bass leads to root position tonic. Inverted bass follows voice leading rules, which means third of the chord goes up, fifth of the chord goes down, seventh of the chord goes down. And then the rest of the voices were just following the rules. So redundant root stays put, seventh goes down, fifth goes down, fifth goes down, third goes up, third goes up, third goes up. Just following the rules that we have in the chart. So that covers that part of the book. So let's see if there's anything else worth mention here. There's a whole bunch of just examples here. For example, the Waldstein is an example of the third inversion of the 5 chord leading to first inversion of the 1 chord. And because I like, not Waldstein, why did I say that? This is the Pathétique. Since I like the Pathétique, I will go ahead and play the opening melody of the Pathétique for you. What I want you to listen for is the dissonance of third inversion and how its resolution to the 1-6 resolves that dissonance in a way that still wants to be to lead somewhere. So listen again. You're listening for third inversion. Okay, so go listen to the Pathétique second movement. It's really pretty. And that summarizes all of that stuff for chapter 14. We are done with chapter 14, which means we are done with lectures for Music Theory 2. The next video you will see is going to be a review of material. So thanks for tuning in. This has been a really quick review of everything you need to know about the 5-7. I'll see you all later.